and we're going southbound now onto Fairview. The lights are off on the car moving very, very slowly. This pursuit continuing, wondering if maybe they're going to try to use a pit maneuver on this vehicle, but right now, just a very slow-moving pursuit on this Halloween Eve.
Yeah, we're following some breaking news here on KCAL 9 as we are following this pursuit. Stu Mendel's and Sky 9. Stu, I counted about 6 cruisers behind that suspect vehicle. We know that it is Halloween, of course, and I understand that there's
low speed. He's, like I said, he's disabled one of his tires. You saw the smoke coming out of as he went through the lights, but he's just a very slow speed. It's a stolen vehicle. It started probably about 20 minutes ago up in the downtown Santa Ana area, now working its way into Garden Grove, and as we move along here, we're going to keep an eye on it. We're having to stay up at 3,000 feet due to the Anaheim Disneyland restricted area here, so as we push along, once we get a little bit further south, I'll be able to drop down, get a better look, try to look at that suspect inside. But you see he's stopping for signals now. The sheriff's unit, the sheriff's helicopter is overhead keeping an eye on him, and then there's also police cars blocking traffic on the cross street, so that's keeping those folks out of the way so they don't get involved. So they're doing their best to keep people safe out here on this Halloween night. You know, a lot of folks moving around, so they're keeping that in mind as well. They wanted to go into tracking mode on this, but he went into a very erratic driving, so now they're trying to just stay with him to see where he goes. But he's sitting at the and southbound Fairview here. I'm trying to listen to the Santa Ana helicopter overhead. They're actually sheriff's helicopter overhead. And Santa Ana PD just trailing very slowly as we continue south on Fairview. But very low-speed pursuit. And the reason that he's, like I said, disabled one of those tires, can't really tell which one it was, just because of the smoke coming out of it. But and we're coming up to the intersection here. Edna is the intersection he's going through now, southbound southbound on Fairview here. And luckily, he's going so slow that traffic is not an effect to him right now. But as he gets a little further here, it looks like it gets even lighter. So that's a good news. The only problem is you have a lot of pedestrians out tonight, and I guess with his slow speeds, that's going to be able to get them out of the way. But the police departments go down the way here are listening to this on their pursuit channel here in Orange County. So every agency down here hears this coming, and they're going. They're keeping an eye out for this guy coming down because they can hear it, and they're trying to keep it out of the way. But there you see a pedestrian just kind of walking across the intersection, so we do have to deal with that. But luckily he's not able to go very fast as we move along here. So right now they're just holding their back, and there's then a bunch of units.
All right, looks like we've lost signal with Tim Lynn overhead. Tim, are you with us? There we are.
I'm still here, continuing south on here as we work our way down. Very slow. The damage on the front end there, as you see the headlight bent down. He was at a pretty good rate of speed at the beginning of this pursuit, but before we got here, he apparently hit something that damaged that tire. So right now, we're on him, as well as the Santa Ana Police Department here. So let me send it back to you for a second. I'm able to drop down now. I got a cord to be able to do that. So let me send it down to you just for a second as we continue southbound Fairview.
Okay.
Yeah, and as we drop the helicopter a little lower, we'll clearly be able to get a better view, we believe, of this suspect and what we believe is one person inside this car. We cannot confirm that. Again, a stolen car suspect out of Santa Ana. You'd have to assume that with a damaged tire, he likely won't be getting on the freeway.
Right. Again, this is a stolen car pursuit that we're looking at right here. It started at the Hotel Terrace, is what we're told. That is coming from Anthony Bertrania. He's over there in Santa Ana and giving us that information. Corporal Anthony Britannia. But again, this is a stolen car pursuit. Suspect started about 25 minutes ago here in Orange County, now in Garden Grove, and slow speeds. But this is what's so frightening about this, is that when this is happening on a night like this, when you have so many people out and about tonight, even on this Monday night, but it is Halloween, and so you've got people that are out and about, like Tim said, that are pedestrians. That if this were, it's just a dangerous situation altogether, regardless of the speed at this point.
Yeah, well, when they went after this guy initially, full lights and sirens, apparently that sort of triggered a wild sort of setting and more erratic driving. So I guess the prevailing wisdom at this point is to just lay back and, sort of avoid fanning the flames, if you will. And this suspect has since slowed way down and is actually obeying the traffic laws. So at this point, the danger has dropped considerably. The authorities are following. Obviously, they're in the air. Orange County sheriffs are assisting in the air, from what we understand. And of course, there are black and whites on the ground as well following him, but at a distance. We saw a minute ago he was actually sitting at red lights, waiting for the traffic to turn. A pedestrian actually walked right across the street in front of this suspect, and the light turns green, then he moves on, but continues to want to go at this point at the speed limit.
Tim Lynn in Sky 5 has been following this for us. We're trying to get a closer picture of this, but he's starting to pick up his speed. We thought that maybe perhaps that he had a tire disabled earlier, and that's why he was slowing down.
TV5 has both. Okay, I'm sorry. We're on First Street here, westbound, just coming up to Harbor. He did pick up a little bit of speed here. We were able to drop down just a little bit to get a little better picture here. Now he's turning on Residential Street here, and this is Rate, that's what I understand, and Sound. We're continuing southbound from First here. They have the police helicopter from Huntington Beach, as well as the Orange County Sheriff helicopter overhead monitoring this boot. And the Santa Ana units have completely backed off. They're a couple blocks back. They haven't even made the turn here yet down. And then continuing south through here. You saw him pick up just a little bit of speed as we came through there. Now coming down here into a residential track. So that's where we were talking about the problem with, folks out on the street. I mean, it's late for the young trick-or-treaters, but there's still partiers out here. And, we talk about the parties that go on Halloween. It's one of the bigger party nights, even bigger than your New Year's. So a lot of folks out here on the street tonight in Orange County as we work our way southbound here. We'll be coming up to a major intersection here in a second as we just slowly work through this residential track away from First Street southbound. And so they're not even in the area with the police cars, but they are paralleling on side streets, kind of watching to see where he may end up. They're just hoping he gets out of the car or the car disables. You can see we get a little closer shot of it right here. A stolen vehicle turning now westbound. And we'll get the name of the street for you here in a second as they call it out. And so right now it looks like they're just content to let him run by himself through the city here. He's in the left turn pocket, going to turn up into a shopping center here. I believe this is Harbor, and looking back, possibly Bolsa. I'm just kind of looking from working in the area a long time, just trying to figure out exactly what street this is. But he's up into the shopping center here on the corner, and we'll see what he does when he gets in here. He may try to ditch the car, then bail out, but the problem is he's got two police helicopters over him, and he's not going to get anywhere after that. But we'll see here. He's up into the shopping center as he moves in, and we'll working his way around. And
so they're content to just follow him from the air at this point. I mean, driving like this, he's not going to lose anybody in a helicopter.
That's right. I mean, he's not going to get away from the two helicopters overhead. And like I said, they were talking at the very beginning when he was driving really erratically, and they had the air unit overhead. They decided to let him go, and then when he slowed down. But here he goes into a parking spot, parking here. And let's see. You'll see the air unit pass through our shot here in a second. But we have, like I said, the sheriff's and HB1 overhead watching him. Now we're seeing him open the door and stepping out. And just very casually just stepping out and looking around like nothing's going on, shutting the door, and then walking away. Looks like a male in a sweatshirt, short pants, just looking around, walking, very nonchalant. But they're looking. Here comes a unit off the street, going to be popping in here. He's going to come right down in front of their unit, stopping right in front of him. Those are Santa Ana units, and there you go. They were right there, and down he goes, code 20. Anyway, so you can see they got him down, and somewhat of a little bit of resistance going on here. And as the officers swarm in, and suspects in custody. Luckily, nobody hurt during the pursuit. Nobody hit, but the suspect now will be going to jail for a stolen vehicle here in Santa Ana.
All right, and there it is. He'll be spending his Halloween night in jail for sure. Tim Lynn and Sky 5, thank you for that. The suspect in custody of this stolen car pursuit here in Santa Ana.
That's the way we want to see it end, with nobody hurt. Back with more news in a moment. Stay with us.